Hey! Let's reboot very bad things. We'll tell no one anything. We'll put ScarJo in the lead. Didn't even have to plead. Talent all over the screen. Think this movie would have bleed. Go and try not to review. Is this a film or just a fluke? Reviews of Rough Night ended up online and we're screwed. Oh well. It's a rotten mess, but your friend, he thought it ruled. Damn, I saw Rough Night. Yeah, they danced on tabletops. Should've taken much more shots. Wanted to, but I forgot. I saw Rough Night. Yeah, I paid to see this crap, so you can't take a long nap. Beat me in a burlap sap. I saw Rough Night. Did it all again. No, I saw Rough Night. Would you recommend? No, I saw Rough Night. Finally! Rough Night, directed by Lucia Anello, starring Scarlett Johansson, Jillian Bell, Zoë Kravitz, Ilana Glazer, Kate McKinnon, and Paul W. Downs. Bo Burnham's in this movie and doesn't say a funny thing at all. What a waste. So the story of this movie is 4 girls, which ends up being 5 eventually, who are friends in college, haven't seen much of each other over the 10 years, so they decide that they're going to spend Scarlett Johansson's bachelorette party in Miami over an entire weekend so they can all spend a lot of time together, and obviously celebrate the bachelorette party, the wedding of the upcoming politician played by Scarlett Johansson. So they all take a trip to Miami, and of course, they party, they do cocaine, they drink a lot, and they decide to hire a stripper. This stripper shows up to the house, and they accidentally kill the stripper, and then it becomes a rough night for them as they try to figure out how to get out of this mess. So there's not much to say about this movie as far as the plot goes. It's just straightforward, how do we get out of this mess? There is a neat little twisty twist at the end, but it doesn't really add a whole lot to the plot, because at that point, you know, the biggest problem with this movie is that it isn't funny. I mean, I only laughed about a handful of times. So the row behind me for this movie was filled with a group of women. And they laughed their asses off during this movie. So I can't take away from maybe a lot of these jokes are over my head. A lot of these jokes were about periods and things of that nature that, you know, as a man, obviously, I have no idea. So, but I was hoping for a little bit more physical comedy, and some of those moments to land in this film, and none of them really do. This movie does shift tonally, constantly. It does go from outrageous comedy to outright drama and heartfelt moments. And that's one of the bigger problems with the movie as well, is none of this stuff really meshes together. This movie does try to be the complete, crazy, outrageous, hangover-style comedy, but also goes for those dramatic moments as well, and they really don't mesh together well. You know, there is a way to do this, and it's a tough, I gotta give the director credit, you know, it is tough to make these big tonal shifts and try to find a center for the movie, and it was not accomplished that well in this movie, I will say. Like I said, I laughed a few times, but this is not something you're going to go and laugh your ass off. This is another one of those, oh, it's 2:30 in the morning, I just got home from the bar, Rough Night is on cable, you know, you'll leave it on, you'll fall asleep to it, but no one's going to be rushing out to watch this movie over and over again like something like The Hangover. As far as performances go, Jillian Bell is freaking hilarious, and she stood out in this movie like Leslie Jones stood out in Ghostbusters. You know, I consistently laughed at almost everything she says. Her delivery is funny, her facial expressions are funny. So Scarlett Johansson plays the straight character in this, so, you know, you don't get a lot of laughs out of her. It is the situation around it, but once again, it just, you know, as silly as the situation is, this movie is made up of 100 parts from 100 other movies, and since it never really finds its own ground and never really finds its own voice, you end up watching this movie just thinking about all the other movies that are like this movie that are much funnier than Rough Night. And I will say the girls do have chemistry together, you know, as a group of 5, you know, they play off of each other really well. Once again, it's just, the movie isn't funny, so you're not laughing, but you can really see the camaraderie in the characters, that they really understand the roles that they have that they're going for, so, you know, kudos to all of them, but I mean, this movie's going to disappear out into the dregs of nothing, and no one will remember it anyway. So overall, I can't recommend this at all. Once again, don't pay to see this movie. You'll catch it on cable, you'll laugh a little bit, and, you know, that's the best you're going to get out of this. That's 0 for 2 this year for ScarJo with Ghost in the Shell, so hopefully she, you know, has a good comeback with something near the end of the year. Let's get a Lucy 2 going, guys. So thank you everybody for watching my videos again. I hope you enjoyed this review and the songs on the front end of it. Please remember to thumbs up this video and comment. Tell me how much you love me. Tell me how much you hate me. Just do any of that. Remember to subscribe here, and please watch my other content. And I really appreciate it, everybody. For those of you who are watching, take care.